What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for episode 29 of Hit the Books podcast. We're all back together this week and looking forward to deliver a quality episode this week. Let's introduce the boys, my co-hosts, Huff and Mackie. Huff, what's happening, man?
Not much. What's going on, everybody? Happy to be back another week. As Jesse said, we are all back on the microphone for another good episode. I have a lot going on in the sports world. Masters coming up this weekend, and as we all know, the Final Four National Championship came to an end, and we're coming to an end of the NHL and NBA regular season, so a lot to talk about. A couple NFL free agent signings that we're going to get into. A lot to talk about, Mackie. What's going on with you?
Not much, I got the Masters coming up, always exciting. MLB starting this week. At the end of the NBA season, NHL season. So, a lot going on in the sports world right now.
Forgot to mention MLB, that too. Opening day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Definitely excited for that. So, yeah, let's get into it.
You guys said it. Lots of good stuff to talk about this week. What do you guys think we should start with this week?
Let's start out with some of these NFL free agent signings, because just the two. We'll kind of go with the two big ones. Jesse, I don't know if you got a chance to look up the deal. I don't have it pulled up yet, but Stefon Diggs signing that massive deal with the Buffalo Bills. There was talks about a couple weeks ago that he was actually unhappy with his contract situation in Buffalo, and there was a chance that they thought that the two might go separate ways. I don't know if it was supposed to be going separate ways this offseason, during the season next year, after his current contract or now previous contract would have ran out. But I was starting to hear stuff and see stuff on Twitter of people saying that Stefon Diggs was unhappy with his contract situation with the Buffalo Bills. And we see what happened. They go out and make him, I think he's the highest paid receiver in the NFL now, if I'm not mistaken. I'll pull this deal up because I want to get the exact number right. But
I have this deal up, Huff.
Go ahead, Jesse. We'll say the deal.
Bills reach agreement with wide receiver Stefon Diggs on a 4-year, $104 million extension that includes $70 million guaranteed. Deal ties Diggs to Buffalo for 6 more years at $124.1 million, with the intent for both sides to have him retire in Buffalo.
Yeah, he deserves it. He's definitely one of the best receivers in the league. He's proved it time after time. Him and Josh Allen have just been absolutely lethal. So, get the man paid. He deserves it. I don't think.
If you're Josh Allen, if you're the Bills ownership and front office, you're looking at this move as this is more than just locking up your number one receiver. This is showing your young veteran quarterback. Now I consider him a veteran. He's played deep playoff runs. It doesn't take being 32 years old to be a veteran in the league. He's now been around a couple of years and led his team far in the playoffs. This kid's Josh Allen's legit, and I think for the front office in Buffalo, this was a move to say, all right, now we have the looks of our future and Allen and Diggs. They get a running back in there that's legit. They have a serious team up there. Obviously, I don't know, is Emmanuel Sanders still there? I know Cole Beasley is not.
He is. Emmanuel Sanders is, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm not sure if they still have Gabe Davis, the guy that had the 4 touchdowns in the playoff game, but the Bills are definitely kind of retooling, getting things back going, and obviously we know what happened last year with the overtime playoff loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, and with this new rule coming into the NFL with playoff games, both teams will be able to get a chance to possess the ball. That's obviously, you can basically call that the Josh Allen rule.
Crazy how quick that came into play too. They hopped right on that.
Dude, that game was too big to get determined like that, and they were like, fuck. When that happened that way, they were like, shit.
Yeah, the Bills are going to be around for a while now. They've proved that with obviously they're just going to build around Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs for the years to come.
Yeah, that's a great core to look at and build around. That's the kind of thing you start just building that defense and offensive line. You don't need depth at the receiver position because you have a veteran like Diggs. Barring injury, just have average guys, but start building the offensive line, defensive line, and get Allen the protection that he deserves, because they're going to have to invest a lot of money in that young arm.
Also, Bobby Wagner getting signed by the Rams, 5-year, $50 million contract there.
I heard a rumor that he. I don't know if it's a rumor. It could be true. I heard that he negotiated that contract himself and he doesn't have an agent from LA.
I mean, I can believe that. I can
Yeah,
believe it. He's
he's
a
from
veteran. He
LA,
knows.
so
He knows
that's
what he's doing.
exactly, yeah. I
But
guess
that's
it's not
just.
I guess it's not as uncommon as you think. Like when you guys say that, like he negotiated his own deal, but I guess it's just cool to hear that you don't need some guy taking up 10% of your salary to fork over. You know what I mean?
You could do it yourself. Why not?
Like Bobby Wagner probably walked in and was like, "Hey, here's my highlight reel. You've seen me. I'm a Super Bowl champion. Thanks. I want $10 million a year for however many years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever you got. I'm gonna retire Ram. We're good to go. Let's go win a Super Bowl." Like he just made
Yeah,
the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl champions have now gotten better on both sides of the ball, getting Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner.
yeah. You don't really see teams that coming off Super Bowl make moves like this. So it's a big signing.
Everyone thought it was huge when after the Bucks won the Super Bowl, when they retained all 11 starters on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
How
they're just
about
adding.
how
They're
about just
retaining
getting better?
everyone. Yeah.
Like people figured out that Bucks team, and obviously injuries and a psychopath Antonio Brown leaving the game, and obviously a whole bunch of stuff happened with that team. But a lot of people figured out that team, and it was like I heard something today, dude. I was listening to Pat McAfee show, and he had Terrell Owens on today. Apparently, Terrell Owens is like in talks to try to come back to the NFL.
I saw a quote of him saying something like that, but
He's 48 years old.
Tom Brady's a quarterback, and he's not really a mobile one. So, it's a lot easier to sit in the pocket than run a route every single play.
Yeah,
It takes a lot more wear and tear in your body when you're 48 years old.
Or even like when Vinatieri retired at like 44 or whatever as a kicker, like you can kick at 46 or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
And like Tia, like he was talking about it. He's not like acting like cocky, like I'd come back and be the best receiver in the game. He did say he's like you just have to think about it in like terms like this, like third down, you put me in the slot against a young corner. They're obviously
Yeah, I can create separation and get you those 6 yards that you need.
Yeah, or it's even going to be to the point where, like, say he goes to a team like the Bengals or the Vikings, you put him on the field. You're not. I mean, you might not like totally not double cover Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but like if it's 3rd and 4, you're looking at Terrell Owens because I mean he might be 48 years old, but he can run 12 feet and turn around and catch a ball.
Yeah, he's still Terrell Owens at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's like when I heard that, I was like, "That's crazy," but I mean, I don't think it's very realistic. But apparently, he's working out.
I don't think we'll see it.
He's involved with whatever that football league that Ice Cube does, the like fan generated football league or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't really know too much about it, but I do like when he talked about it. I've heard about it. I've never watched it or seen anything of it, but
yeah, the fans are like involved in the game. They make decisions out in the game. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I think that would be insane if he comes back. Apparently, he was saying he was talking to some front office and some GM owner and whatever. They were like, yeah, stay healthy, keep working out. As the season goes on, as injuries come about, we'll see what happens, and we'll definitely look ahead. And if we need you, definitely get a contract. Like they were like legit. Like as soon as someone gets hurt, we're signing you basically. And then he was acting like now there's like 5 teams that would want him. Like. Like, all right, dude, you're 48 years old. Like, you can. It's different when you're saying like, yeah, one team. I've been talking to one team. They want me to come back. It's like if it was like the Cowboys or 49ers, like as much as you'd be like, yeah, they don't need receivers. Like he played for them. You know what I mean? You don't know who he knows in the building, that kind of thing. So
yeah. I mean, I like the thought of it.
He could be texting Jerry Jones, being like, "Hey, man, you want like a nice 3rd down possession receiver?"
I like the thought of it. I don't think we'll see it happen though.
Exactly, it's not.
It's cool to talk about it. It'd be cool for the game, but I don't know. Realistically, there's so many guys out there that you could probably trust more than him. A 48-year-old man has been out of the game for what, 10 years now, 12 years.
Yeah, I mean, what can he do at 48 that some, you know what I mean?
That a 22-year-old rookie can't do.
Because he's not coming back. He keeps saying it's not about the money. He wants to just mentor young players. Like All right, dude.
Well,
We'll see.
obviously he doesn't need the money. The guy's.
I know, but I'll believe it's not about the money when he signs for like league minimum and not like $5 million a year.
There's no way that somebody's going to give him $5 million. He'll definitely just make a veteran's minimum, which is what, $900,000.
Yeah, I think it's 900. I think the Terrell Owens stuff is all a bunch of hubbub, but who knows? The NFL wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me if it was the NBA because we've seen that with like Joe Johnson and you know what I mean. Is Terrell Owens in the Hall of Fame?
I think so.
It has to be. Is that like is that allowed? Are you allowed to like be in
Djokovic
the
just
Hall of
made
Fame?
Oh my
Are you allowed
god.
to be in the Hall of Fame and play in an NFL game?
I think so.
What if Peyton Manning was like, "I'm coming back"? Is he like? Yeah, I guess he's still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Now
I,
it's
I
like,
don't think you can't take the title away from him and then like what
yeah.
Ray induct him after.
If anything, it'd be more legit. Like when people are like when I talk about Ben, I'm like, oh, he's a Hall of Famer. Like he's not a Hall of Famer yet, but like, like T.O. catches a ball, you're like, oh, that's a Hall of Famer. Like you're like, yeah,
Like
he is.
you can literally say he's a Hall of Famer.
You're like, yeah, dude, he could wear his gold jacket in and out of every fucking game if he wanted to. Yeah, those are definitely the two bigger free agent signings. The Rams getting a lot better. Same with the Nets. Let's go up 10. But yeah, let's look ahead. Let's go back to this Final Four this past weekend, Mackie. What'd you think of the results of the Final Four, the big Duke UNC game? Did you have any money on that? I know you definitely had something.
Yeah, I had a Duke Kansas moneyline parlay, which
You, me, Jesse, my cousin, the rest of America did. None of us planned it together.
bro, just fucking ridiculous, man. Kansas was. I never thought they were gonna lose. Even when they were down 15 in the championship game at half, I didn't really think they were gonna lose. I thought obviously it's a possibility, but dude,
They were playing so
that team is
bad.
just so good. That team is so good.
Yeah, they were. That was a really good team. They definitely deserved to win it all. But going back to Duke UNC, I mean, with that game, obviously, probably the most hyped up college basketball game of all time, and it's not even the national championship. I mean, being in the Final Four, the lights of the brightest, Duke UNC, this rivalry. We all know what the story behind it with Coach K. UNC beating Coach K and Cameron Indoor and Coach K's last home game as Duke's head coach. And then obviously this year Duke's playing North Carolina, chance to get their revenge on them in the Final Four to end their season, to go on and play Kansas in the national championship. But obviously we know that North Carolina ended up winning the game, pulling away late. It was a very back and forth game. Honestly, it was a crazy game. If you had got a chance to watch it, it definitely was worth every minute. But the player that stood out to me was Baycott from North Carolina in that game from Duke. Despite the injury late in the game, where he actually ended up coming back, he set a record for most rebounds in a Final Four game since 2003.
Yeah, what was it? 22.
22 rebounds. It was just a lot of back and forth runs by both teams, and you know, whenever you look at kind of the struggles for Duke. Guys like A.J. Griffin, who have been able to find the bottom of the net all season with the shooting aspect of his game, struggled both from the free throw line and the field. So, Banchero, despite the loss, he actually did, in my opinion. I thought he played a great game. There was chances where Duke was down 3 or 4, and basically where you need points. If you let North Carolina get a stop and score there, the game's pretty much over with 2 minutes left, down 6. So. Banchero kept them in it, and Duke did everything they could. North Carolina just was the better team.
Duke could have won that game if they missed their free throws at the end of the game. You know, it's a 1-point game. You get two. You're in the double bonus. You're expecting at least some points, and you brick both free throws, and then they go down and score again. So, you know, they had their chances. It was the game came down to like the final minute who was gonna. You know, hit their free throws, get the bounces, hit their shots. I don't know. Good game.
Yeah.
Anybody could have came out on top.
Yeah, and obviously on the other side of the bracket, we had Kansas defeating Villanova. 81-65. Kansas was the 1 seed. Villanova being the 2 seed coming out of their side or their portion of the bracket. Villanova played a good game, and coming from Gillespie and Jay Wright, the whole Villanova crew, they brought everything they could. Kansas, like Mackie said, was just a very well put together team all season. Mackie, you had a good take on them the night that we were talking about who we liked on Monday for the game. You just said, no one matches up with Kansas right now. They're the best team in college basketball. They won the toughest division or toughest conference in college basketball. Obviously, now we sit here and they're the 2022 national champions. So you definitely had a good take on that. But it was North Carolina +4, which did hit. So I hope you took the money line. Did you take the spread?
I actually didn't even bet on it because I had that. I was winning the league for $500.
Yeah. You just
So I just rode that.
You did technically just need the money line.
Yeah, basically I just had money line.
Yeah, so we both did win. Nice, love that.
Yeah, that you guys had a love when he stepped out of bounds there.
Dude, oh my god, I was freaking
It saved it.
That was fixed.
I don't know, dude. You can't. What are you're gonna tell me they paid the guy to step out of bounds there? That's crazy though. Vegas really won,
What was the percentage of money on Kansas?
Yeah, it was 61% Kansas. I think 61 was at 39.
Even the spread?
The spread was like 54-46. It was right. It was pretty even.
That 4% is fucking massive.
Yeah. Well, obviously, when it comes down to it.
Yeah. They're like, just step out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna miss. Just step out of bounds. You were probably hoping for them to miss that shot too.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want overtime. I mean, I had the over, but I was like, I had more money on the spread, so I was like,
yeah, you were better off with the +4.5.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't.
You had +4.5, so like even if he did take free throws, you still could have hit.
Well, yeah, it would have been a 1-on-1. So I was hoping he would have just like missed the first one, and not even gotten a second one.
Not even have to worry about it.
Yeah, or made the first one, missed the second one. You know what I mean? It's college basketball. Like I always tell people, I'm like, dude, these are college athletes. You can't expect them to hit every free throw. Like
yeah.
An NBA game.
Except for Villanova. Villanova hits all their fucking free throws.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff coming out of the NFL and finishing up here for March Madness. What about baseball? Baseball starting tomorrow. Opening day. A lot of stuff going on here for Thursday. Games at all hours, 2:20, 4:05, 4:10, 4:15.
Are there games on tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton.
I didn't know it was on tomorrow afternoon. I thought it's on tomorrow 4, but let's look at some of these odds, huh? Let's pull up the odds.
Yo, Huff, let's get an early prediction for World Series winner.
Okay. Let me pull this up.
Let's look at the odds.
All right. Do you have them pulled up, or you want me to give a top 10? Not top 10, maybe like 6.
All right, mine are probably a little different because I'm on DraftKings, but yeah, let's hear them.
All right. Obviously, the favorite's going to be the LA Dodgers +480. Toronto Blue Jays in second at +850. Chicago White Sox right behind them at +950.
Wow.
Houston Astros at +1000. The Atlanta Braves to repeat +1200. Milwaukee Brewers +1200, tied with Atlanta. I'll go 2 more. And the Yankees are now 13-1 +1300. Right behind them are the Mets at 15-1. Mac, you remember last time we had this conversation, the Mets were higher than the Yankees, and you made a comment on that.
The FanDuel odds are so different, dude.
Let's hear yours.
I got Dodgers at 500. Then I got Blue Jays at 850. Then I got the Braves at 950.
What?
And the Yankees at 950.
Wow.
Then Astros at +1000, and then the White Sox at +1100.
So the Blue Jays you have Blue Jays at 850 and Astros at +1000?
Yeah.
All right, so those are the only two that are the same.
Yeah, Dodgers are 500, so it's basically the same.
Yeah, same, unless you're throwing massive money.
But Braves, Yanks, and Sox are so off. And then you got Mets at +15.
Yeah, 1,500.
I got him at plus 12.
Damn. So this one's actually better.
Jeez.
Usually drop.
Yeah. Your odds are so much better.
Yeah. If you like, what do you have the White Sox at? I like the White Sox.
11. Yeah, the Brewers are 16 on mine.
Wow. That's the biggest variance
What?
right there.
And what are yours? What is it on yours? 12.
1,200 tied with the Braves.
Yeah, that's the highest difference.
Let's look at further down past like 15-1. After the Mets, I have the San Diego Padres at 16-1.
Same.
I have the Tampa Bay Rays at 16-1.
17.
I have the LA Angels at 25-1.
35.
There's the biggest difference.
That's
but they're not
crazy.
going to win, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then San Francisco, same odds, same with the Red Sox and Phillies.
Nah, I got Red Sox and Phillies at 22, and I got the Giants at 28.
Okay, so some difference, but obviously now we're starting to get down into the basement of the MLB.
Yeah, and, you got Pirates at 30,000.
Yeah, 30,000, 50,000,
Bucks.
50,000 on FanDuel. See, that's like
Go-
that is like an insane difference. Like,
Yeah, but that's just you're not winning that, like
yeah.
even if they have a good season and make the playoffs, they're not winning it, like
Yeah. Cleveland Guardians. You gotta look at
At
a
that
team like
10,000.
that. Plus 9,000.
Let's go division winners.
I do like doing division winner parlays and
Let's go with the good AL East.
AL East. I'm coming. Hold on, I just
No heavy favorites.
Yeah. Toronto Blue Jays plus 170, Yankees plus 250, Rays plus 250, Red Sox plus 500, and the Baltimore Orioles plus 20,000. Mackie, what do you like there?
What I like?
Yeah.
I don't know why you. The Rays have. Well, on mine, the Rays are plus 330. I think the best value there is the Rays because I think any one of these three teams can easily come out on top here. So obviously, I think you should get your best value at the lowest odds because I think all three of these teams could have an insane year. Obviously, Blue Jays added a lot this year because their bats were going. So now they got some pitching, but I don't know. I think any of these teams could just have a good year. The Yankees. How can you ever count that team out with that roster?
Yeah. It's tough. I was gonna say I like the odds of the Yankees whenever they're the same as the Rays is what I just said. Setting both at plus 250 to win the division. You know what I mean? Like if they're the same, I feel like the value's more for the Yankees because like they might choke in the playoffs, but they also they do have a good chance to win the division. Not a good
definitely.
chance, but you know what I mean? It's one of those three teams.
Yeah, well, my odds, I got Yankees at plus 200 and Rays at plus 330. So let's go. Let's go NL East.
Alrighty. Would you say NL?
Yeah.
Let's see here. NL East, we have the Atlanta Braves plus 125, the New York Mets plus 200, the Philadelphia Phillies at plus 340, the Miami Marlins at plus 1,300, and the Washington Nationals at plus 4,000.
Mets plus 200 ain't too bad.
Yeah, the Mets are either going to win this division or they're not going to make the playoffs.
Right.
There's no in between with them. So I guess plus 200 isn't bad odds as long as, Scherzer and DeGrom could stay healthy. DeGrom's already having some health issues with his, I don't even know what he has, something in his shoulder or something, but he's already out. So we got McGill starting tomorrow, which is pretty depressing. You have the two best pitchers in the league and can't get any of them to start on opening day.
Yeah, is Stroman healthy right now?
I couldn't tell you.
I think he is. I'm surprised they don't go to him on opening day, but yeah, obviously the offseason that the Mets have had and to come into the season with the two big guns not in the lineup, it's obviously tough, but the season's a marathon for sure, not a sprint with all these games.
Yeah. Now not going to dwell on one game in a 162 game season, but
one game means nothing.
Is it a full season this year?
I think they did like 154.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they only lost like 8 games.
All right. Well,
If
what's
at
the
all.
point of even taking
I think
games
they did.
away?
I think they did. It was just minimizing the doubleheaders.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
They basically just kept every calendar game that was scheduled. They just had to make up any divisional games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they canceled. They probably rescheduled some of the stupid interconference games, or interleague games. I guess is the proper term for baseball. It's so stupid, but Pirates. I'm excited. Should be terrible again this year. Don't really expect much, but yeah. As far as a pick that you said for who I like to win the World Series, I do like Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, that team's been good for the past few years. I like them.
They've been just itching at the border, like waiting to make a
They
run.
have.
Looking forward to seeing some Pirates baseball this year. Catch us at opening day for home opening day for the Pirates next Tuesday. Real excited for that one. But moving forward, you guys want to jump into some Masters?
Yeah, let's definitely get into some Masters right now.
Tiger Woods is back after his car accident. What do you guys think? Do you think he has potential? You think he's gonna, at least place like top 10, something like that?
If he
I
can,
can't see why. I can't see why you wouldn't put even just like $10, $20 on this. Like if you got to root for it. So like
Absolutely.
at least have money on it.
if the man can walk the course, has a chance to finish in the top 10. That's all I have to say.
That would literally be the greatest story in sports if he wins this year's Masters.
Oh my god, yeah, it would. That'd be amazing.
Imagine you can win some money off of it too.
Yeah.
Win-win.
$1,000 or $20 on it.
Yeah, he's not plus 5,000 anymore because I got that before he even announced he was playing.
He's
So.
5,000 on FanDuel.
Is he?
Yeah.
I saw 4. Yeah, I got 4 on DraftKings.
Yeah. I've seen some different odds as you shop around for him.
DeChambeau is higher than him. That's crazy.
Here, I'll see where DeChambeau's sitting. No, DeChambeau's the same as him actually on here on FanDuel.
I got him at 45. So who's got value here? What are you thinking?
I mean, obviously value Tiger, but I'm not going to go there because that's going to be kind of a very.
It's also the most.
Weekend.
He's the most popular bet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the past 5 winners being Matsuyama, Dustin Johnson, Tiger, 2019, Patrick Reed, 2018, and Sergio Garcia. I guess I'll ask you this question before I say who I like is a value pick. Do you see any of those 5 guys? I guess I'll say other than Tiger, maybe those 4 guys making a run and maybe winning this thing.
I was gonna say, do you think that you see a repeat here? I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can't count him out. Obviously, you got some elite golfers there, but Cam Smith, I like him at plus 13. The guy's been on a tear. He's a really good golfer,
Yeah,
he's been playing really well, so maybe it's his year.
I was gonna say I like if I was gonna put I mean, you said it earlier, John Rahm, but I mean the odds 12-1 are just. I feel like the Masters is so like you take someone like plus 3,500 and you just send it.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like Zalatoris at the 32-1 position. Dustin Johnson 15-1. There's a couple other plays that I like that I've seen. A couple people mentioning, but that I've looked into. I haven't really done too much, but I do like definitely like your opinion. I'm thinking Cameron Smith can come home with this weekend. FanDuel sitting 15-1. Morikawa, you can never count out him, sitting at 22-1. Obviously, I already said
Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, you said exactly. Schauffele and I'm always a Brooks Koepka guy, so I don't know about you. I'm thinking I like Brooks odds 19-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, there's a couple here that I really like. Brooks, Dustin, I think they have some good value there. Cam Smith, Justin Thomas, if he can clean up his game a little bit, plus 1,300 isn't too bad.
Yeah, none of us said
here,
Justin Thomas, and he's coming into this one of the more hot golfers, like you said, with Cameron Smith, with some of these other guys, but Justin Thomas has been on a tear all season.
Yeah. Justin Thomas has a little bit problem with his putting game. He needs to clean it up a little bit. His
A little
drives are
sloppy.
yeah, his putting's a little sloppy. His drives are some are a little wary, but I think he can clean it up and make a play here. Saying that, I like looking at these, top 10 finishes like Justin Thomas at plus 110, Rahm at plus 110, Dustin Johnson at 135, Cam Smith at 140. So not a ton of value there, but if you put a couple, maybe two of them together, three of them together, you can make something special.
Yeah, do you like any? You want to maybe look at some of these odds, like to finish in the top 10, stuff like that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, top 10 finish. Here we go. Justin Thomas and Jon Rahm sitting as the favorites for this, both at plus 110. Scotty Scheffler, a guy that none of us mentioned, obviously his odds to win the thing are a little deeper, but to finish in the top 10, he's only sitting at plus 130. Right behind him is DJ Dustin Johnson, plus 135. Cameron Smith, plus 140, sitting there with Brooks Koepka, same odds. Rory, plus 175. Spieth, plus 175, as well as Morikawa, the same odds. And Schauffele, plus 185. Hovland, plus 190, as well as Cantlay. Tiger's odds to finish in the top 10 are behind Zalatoris and Daniel Berger. Tiger Woods sitting at plus 280 to make the top 10 finish.
I have him at plus 500.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane.
Who's your favorite?
Jon Rahm at plus 120, Justin Thomas at plus 130.
Jon Rahm at plus money top 10 finish is worth a play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how can he not finish in the top 10 here?
Like, he doesn't even have to win. Just top 10.
Make a showing.
There's
Do
not
like
10 guys on this board that's going to finish ahead of him.
that should finish ahead of him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can get him at plus 120 on DraftKings, you said?
Yeah, I got DJ at plus 170 too.
I like that. That might be worth it as well. What do you have Rory at?
That's what I'm
just a
saying.
personal Rory McIlroy fan.
Schauffele at plus 210.
210. Oh, Schauffele.
Spieth at 220.
What do you have Rory at?
I got Rory at 200.
That's worth it too.
All these odds are a lot better than.
Yeah, your top 10 odds are a lot better, but yeah, it just seems like you got to shop smart.
Yeah, that's why you got to go between draft book or sports books.
Yeah. Jesse,
Bet smarter.
you like any of these guys that finished in the top 10? You think Rahm at plus money?
I love Rahm at plus money. I think if you take Rahm and put him with someone else, like a Justin Thomas or Cam Smith, something like that, the value is there. Like Justin Thomas and Rahm together is plus 341 on FanDuel. Obviously, like we said,
Can you
DraftKings
do
has
that?
even
Them
better
both
odds.
to finish? Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, I think you can really make something dangerous out of these.
Rahm.
Yeah, but then you're getting two out of the top 10. Your odds start to dwindle.
You're not picking 1 and 5 basically.
Right.
But I see what you're saying. Getting Rahm and Cameron Smith at plus 404 is nice.
That is really nice. Yeah.
I do like that.
Just
That's
a
worth
thought,
a play. It's
it's
top
so
10.
hard to
You
pick
could
a
even go
winner.
top 20, top 15.
Yeah.
Rahm is minus 220 to finish in the top 20.
Yeah, that's when it starts to not even be worth it.
But like if you take Rahm and Cameron Smith both to finish in the top 20, it's plus 128. The same odds as Rahm to finish in the top 10, basically.
I kind of like that actually. Top 20? Come on.
Top 20.
You're gonna tell me they're not gonna finish in the top 20?
Or do you take Rahm at 10 and Smith at 20?
And you're
Then you're getting in there. I'd
There
rather
you
just
go.
both at 20 and plus money, Plus 128. That's better odds than, like I said, just Jon Rahm on DraftKings, where you said you can get him at plus 120. That might be a play for me this weekend.
Better get it quick.
Yeah.
You have until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah, seriously. Let's look ahead. Let's look ahead. Obviously, the NBA playoffs are coming ahead. Let's dive into this stuff. Obviously, last night we had the Los Angeles Lakers get eliminated from the NBA playoff contention. I am a Laker fan, but this season was tough to watch. I really didn't want them to make the playoffs. They were going to get swept by no matter who they made. If not lost in the playing game too with the Spurs, Pelicans, whoever they would have played, Clippers, who are having a nice game right now against Phoenix at home.
The team was just awful, dude. There had no supporting players. Bron didn't care. Nobody cared. Anthony Davis is out the entire year. Russell Westbrook is just a cancer, and I cannot stress that enough. I hate when people support him, especially at this point in his career.
Never liked him.
When he was dropping triple doubles, okay, he had there's reason to support him. I still didn't like him. I didn't like the way he
I
played.
didn't either.
But now he's just awful now.
Yeah.
All he does is turn the fucking ball over.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you.
Brick shots. It wasn't built correctly.
Yeah,
They missed out on DeMar. They missed out on DeMar DeRozan, and that's why they had a bad year.
Yeah, I'm 100% right there with you.
But I don't know. I don't like to see. I don't like to see LeBron.
I
don't like to see his legacy look bad. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a LeBron guy, so I do like to see him obviously hold the NBA
Succeed.
Finals trophy in every June, July, whenever the NBA Finals is. But from the beginning of the year, you could just tell this wasn't the Lakers' year with all the injuries and stuff that was happening with the team. And now they're talking about potentially Frank Vogel's going to get fired, and
he's gone 100%.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on with the team, and LeBron sitting out the past 2 games. Just been a tough season for the Lakers. Every team goes through it. Just so happens that it's a team full of some of the biggest superstars in the NBA. So they're getting a lot more backlash and a lot more attention than a lot of other teams that are making playoffs and qualify for playoff contention. But
well, it's probably the most disappointing season of all time.
Oh yeah, they were plus 400 to win the NBA Finals going into the season. They don't make
Dude, people were talking about them winning 70 games this year. I mean, granted, injuries did come into play heavily. It wasn't just like a small part of why they had a bad year. It was obviously a huge part.
Oh, yeah.
But even to make the playoffs with LeBron and Russ playing for most of the season.
And just all the shit with Russ, the talking back to the fans and stuff.
He needs to grow the fuck up, dude. You're an athlete.
Yeah, there is.
You got to deal with people. Shut up! Just shut up.
Yeah. I don't know. He just all that stuff going on. I think that was a distraction to the team, and
he's got an excuse for everything.
I do think we are looking at a very good NBA playoffs, though. I'm looking at the bracket right now. We still have Phoenix sitting at the 1. Right now, they're playing the Clippers. They're losing right now, but they're literally resting their entire starting lineup. But Dallas looking to playing Utah in the 4-5 series. Golden State, Denver in the 3-6, and obviously Memphis is awaiting the 7 seed from the play-in. Same with Phoenix at the 1. You look at the other side, you have Miami Heat sitting at the 1 seed, awaiting the result of their series from the playing games. You have the 4-5. 4-5 right now is sitting as the 76ers and Raptors. Then you look down and we have Milwaukee and Chicago. That could be a good series. And then same thing with Boston. A team that's heating up right now is the Boston Celtics. They're on fire the past couple of weeks. I'm riding them a couple of games, making some money betting on the Celtics. They could be looking at.
And you're probably.
Go ahead.
If the Celtics get that 2 seed, you're probably going to see a Celtics Nets first round. And you can. I'm taking the Celtics in 6.
Did you say Celtics and who?
Because the Nets will probably get that 7 seed. They're going to probably win their playing game.
Yeah.
So if the C's get that 2 seed, that's going to be a Nets Celtics matchup, which I don't see the Celtics losing.
Dude, the Celtics are on fire right now.
Yeah, I don't think that Nets team can beat them.
Dude, you ever all right, you're the same way with me with sports. You ever just sit there and you're like, damn, you think back on really good sports games, like the Chiefs Bills playoff game, the Bucks Bucks. This is the game I'm talking about. Bucks and Nets in the playoffs last year when KD's toe was on the line and they went to overtime.
Which game was it?
6 or 7, the one that the Bucks won in overtime and won the series and moved on.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, I
Yeah.
was thinking about that game the other day, and I'm just like, I want Bucks versus Heat, or I want Bucks versus Nets rematch so bad. That'd be such a good series. Giannis versus KD.
I just don't think we're
I
gonna
don't
get
think
it.
I agree. If they have to go through Boston, it's going to be hard. But that's going to be a series that I'm definitely rooting to see. I want to see that rematch.
Dude,
And
the
that's
Nets
nothing
are
against Boston.
in the
I
play-in
think Boston
tournament.
versus Milwaukee would be a hell of a series as well. It would just be really
Even Miami, dude.
no.
Miami's.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying Boston versus Milwaukee would just be very annoying to watch for one reason, and both teams' jersey colors are green and white.
Yeah,
They would literally
that's
just
true.
look like they're wearing each other's away jerseys and home jerseys.
The Nets are in the play-in tournament, and they have the third best odds to win the whole
That's
thing.
crazy.
Crazy, dude. The regular season doesn't mean
Do you like
anything.
the Sixers with Harden and Embiid getting the Raptors in the first round?
Yeah, I think I don't think they will get beat in the first round, regardless of who they play. Just
Do you
because.
see the one? Do you see
Oh,
Miami?
I want
Here's
to
the
see
top
it.
4 in the East. Do you see Miami as the 1, Boston is the 2, Milwaukee is the 3, and Philly is the 4? Do you see any of those top 4 teams losing?
No,
All right,
no
let's go to the
shot.
West. Phoenix at the 1.
Just because
Right.
actually it matters who it matter. No, actually I don't. I don't. All right, let's go to the West.
All right. Whenever you look at the West, we have Phoenix at the 1. We have Memphis at the 2. We have Golden State at the 3. We have Dallas at the 4. Right now, Dallas would play Utah. Golden State would play Denver. And obviously, Phoenix and Memphis would be awaiting an opponent.
I could see Denver
I could see
or
them.
Utah upsetting upsetting the Mavs or
I
the
was just gonna say I
Warriors.
could see either of those 4, 5, 3, 6 series being upsets.
Yeah, because the Warriors have been
Utah shouldn't be a 5
shaky
seed. They lost
lately.
a lot of
So
games they shouldn't have lost.
yeah, but I don't know if they're fully healthy. I guess they're a different team, but I don't know. The Jazz and the Nuggets, dude, they're just as good as everyone else. So
They're just so boring to watch. I feel like both of those teams. I like watching Jokic, but
yeah, definitely.
and Mitchell, but like the rest of the team, just how the team plays, I feel like their team play style is so boring to watch. And like, oh my god, when
Yeah,
they
I
play
agree.
each other, it's like I can't even watch it. I do, but it's like, and the jersey colors are so boring. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Both of
I
their
agree.
colors are so dark and like, you know, I do like when the Jazz wear those like faded sunset jerseys. Those are sick.
Jazz, yeah, the
Yeah,
yellow
like
ones.
the gradient sunset or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking.
those are
Yeah,
sick. And then Denver has those rainbow ones. Those are fresh too.
yeah, but they
I was gonna
barely ever
say
wear
either
them.
team barely ever wears them. They both wear. They're just navy blue and white ones. But yeah, I can't see Utah beating Dallas, and I can't see Denver beating Golden State. That's obviously big if Curry's back, ready to go. You know what I mean? Everything with the Warriors, but yeah, a lot going on in the NBA. Coming down to the end of the regular season as we look ahead into the playoffs, it's definitely going to be something that we keep our eye on and talk about week in and week out as we go through the NBA playoffs and the end of the regular season. So, playoffs starting April 13th. I am really excited for NBA playoffs as we move out of college basketball, March Madness, and now straight into the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. Great time of year. Even despite no football, there's definitely a lot of action going on.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. NBA playoffs. Should be fun.
Yeah, Huff, you said it really well. Lots of good stuff coming up, despite being no football. A lot of stuff for us to cover. A lot of good stuff to come out of it. Anything else, boys? A lot of good stuff this week, boys. Happy that we all made it back this week. Huff, thanks for taking over last week. You guys got anything else to add?
Oh, nothing else coming from me. Thanks for listening. See you back here next week. Happy Masters weekend. And yeah, see you next week. Have a good one, boys. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, boys. See you next week. Have a good week of gambling.
Masters in baseball tomorrow. See you next week. And that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Hit the Books Podcast. Be sure to check us out on our various social media platforms. Instagram at hitthebooks.pod, Twitter at hitthebooks_pod, website at hitthebookspod.com for all the latest on Hit the Books. And be sure to always study hard.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.